if we want to grow, if you want to form a relationship with yourself that is based in love, if you want to have deeper connection with yourself and deeper connection with others, it is a delicate balance, different for everybody, but it's a delicate balance of accountability, like loving accountability, holding yourself really accountable, being really honest about like, am I proud of the person I was back there? Is this who I want to be? It's about getting really radically honest with our thoughts, holding ourselves accountable for our thoughts. Am I being unkind to myself? Am I viewing the world in a negative way? Am I happy about the way I'm viewing the world? If my brain was a friend, who was standing next to me all day and they were talking to me, is it someone that I would want to spend time with? We have to be really honest with ourselves and accountable to ourselves for how we're showing up, okay? So that's a big piece of it. But the other piece is acknowledgement. We've got to give ourselves credit. That is the piece that a lot of us didn't learn. You got to give yourself credit. There are moments where the conversation that you were in completely blew up and went in a way that you were not expecting, and the other person got really mad or really triggered and freaked out and left. But you came to that conversation just really wanting to resolve things. You had a really beautiful desire, a really beautiful intention. Even though that blew up in your face, give yourself credit for that. Give yourself credit for the beautiful intention you came with. If you have an awareness, you have an epiphany about yourself. Wow, I've been doing this thing that is not productive for a really long time. Wow, give yourself credit for your epiphany. If you're someone who usually yells, and this time, instead of yelling for 5 minutes, you only yelled for 2 minutes, give yourself credit for that. If you start to yell and you catch yourself, give yourself credit for that. If you're someone who usually is unwilling to receive help, but you allow yourself to receive even the tiniest little bit of help, give yourself credit for that. Start looking for the ways that your human is showing up with beautiful intentions, with a big heart, with a willingness to do things differently, with a greater awareness of yourself. Give yourself credit. So I call this acknowledgement. I don't call it gratitude. I don't call it affirmation, because sometimes it's just acknowledgement. Sometimes we don't feel grateful. Sometimes we don't feel affirming of ourselves. Sometimes we can just acknowledge, sweetheart, I'm not proud of how we showed up back there, but you know what? Usually you completely fly off the handle, and this time you just raised your voice a little bit. You noticed and you stopped after a minute. Normally you go on for 10. This is not where we want to be, but you know what? We're getting there. Thank you for trying. Thank you for noticing. It's about giving yourself credit for every tiny little baby step that's going in between where you are right now and the person that you want to be. When we give ourselves some acknowledgement for those little baby steps, we don't feel like failures as much. We can see that we're making progress. And just like any good relationship, we want to acknowledge the people around us. We want to be letting people around us know that we appreciate them. We want to be saying positive things to them, because when we're just negative in our relationships suffer. Same thing with you.